Hello, I'm Caleb King, and I am here to talk about my final project that is dealing with my subitizing activity from assignment number 2 for designing instruction. So, like I said, my assignment had to do with subitizing 1 through 10. It was made for students in the grade of kindergarten. This was just an activity to help them really dive into subitizing, see what it is, and how they can read it and understand it throughout their time in school. So my assignment was a number sense memory, and it had both hands or numbers for them to look at through hands, and then it also had the different tens chart. I thought this was a good activity to help the students understand subitizing and really get that good concept or good grasp on the concept. And so modeling, in my classroom, I can model subitizing throughout the day. So whether it be when we're talking about reading or colored pencils, whatever, if I need my students to grab 3 colored pencils, I can hold up a 3 with my hands. Or if I'm going to give you 2 minutes, I can hold up the 2. Or if they give them 5 minutes, you can really just use your hands as an example throughout the day and to really help those students get that modeling. You can also model in the form of tallies. So like when you're doing when you're playing other games, or when okay, we are going to do 5 problems, and you can make 5 tallies up on the board, and then you can do that. Or if you're gonna, we're gonna read 5 pages from this book, and then tally after every single page, and really help them get that subitizing throughout the day. And like I said, when you're explaining things, really use that subitizing. Integrating subitizing throughout the day. You can have posters up of subitizing. You can have you can use dice in your math, and you can be like, okay, this is another type of how, you see 3 dots on the dice. That is the number 3. Or in dominoes. Dominoes are a great way to really integrate that subitizing throughout different, throughout math, or throughout, there's so many different ways that subitizing affects the students, and when they really get that good understanding. When you're in foundations, you can, clap out syllables of words. You can clap out how many vowels are in, or you can express how many vowels and have them use their fingers, or have them tally every vowel in a word, or have them tally the syllables, just using that subitizing throughout foundations in their reading time and everything. It's also a good a good way to have subitizing in warm-ups in the morning, so you're really able to give them more practice throughout the day. Releasing responsibility gradually. So through this game, you're able to just really you give them examples of how to play the memory game. So we've played memory games in the past. We've used it with colors. We use it with shapes, and so they really have to match, and then they know how to play the game of the matching game. But then also you can start with this one, and then you can gradually go where the students will have they won't have more than finger models. They will have tallies, they will have dice, they will have dominoes, and sometimes they have to add those dominoes up to match, and that will help the students start where we are now, but then also gradually move forward and help them learn more and have a better understanding as we grow. So that would be more of that scaffolding. Encouraging and questioning. So asking essential questions throughout the game, or when we're talking about it. Where do you catch yourself using this concept? So, tell the students, okay, when someone asks you how old you are, you put up the number 5. You use your hand to show that you are 5 years old. Or if someone asks how old your sibling is, you say, oh, they're 2, and you hold up 2 fingers. Or, a lot of times the students at this age will use their fingers to show. Or they will be like, how many pepperonis are on this? And they will be able to count the pepperonis, and like that's like a form of like the tens chart in a sense, not really, but like you understand, like that, like they catch themselves using supertizing even with like pizza toppings with like pepperonis. And so another way you could encourage like engagement throughout this is rewards in the game. So like in the game you have a timer. So like the kid who gets done the fastest, like whoever matches them the quickest, or at the end I believe it shows you how many flips you had. And so like if over here, okay, so that's 6, but I clicked on 4, and like so that adds another flip, and giving yourself the time, okay, 1, okay. And then you like can also like reward for who did it in the least amount of flips, and the time. And you can play multiple times. You can have students pair up and play against each other, if that works for you as well. And so that's another way to reward them. And then ask them, what other ways do we see numbers around us? Bring up the different ways they see numbers. Oh, like, okay, you have a dice. We use dice quite often. We have dominoes. We have, how many numbers are on our phone? Like that's subitizing in its sense as well. Or just really ask them to think about where they see the different numbers throughout their lives. So fostering alternative problem solving is like the different models of the game. You can include addition or subtraction in some models. So like here you could have 1 plus 4, and then they have to find the hand that has a 5, or they have to find 5 tallies. Or here this is 7, and they have to find the dice that relates to that. To having different models. You can have ones with just dice, or you can have ones with like that look like pyramids like this. Just really allowing them to have different models in this game would be another way to include problem solving. Or take what they're learning in this game and incorporate in other ways. So like you put, okay, we're gonna go to recess in 5, like not tell them 5 minutes, right? 5 tallies on the board, and they have to realize, okay, we have 5 minutes until recess. Or like just hold up, we're gonna go to recess in this many minutes, and hold your hand up. Or okay, we have this many minutes to read in our books, or until we move on to the next concept, and asking them to repeat, okay, how many minutes do we have? And that's like a form of problem solving with this game. So CT vocabulary across the curriculum, just like allowing for problem solving. It helps with being able to identify numbers in the real world, so the students are able to see that, okay, this is what 5 tally marks looks like. Okay, so we see tallies in the real world, okay, when we're keeping score of things, we can tally. When we are counting, we use our fingers sometimes, but if someone holds up the number 4 on their fingers, I know exactly what that is. And it also helps with just number identification in general, and knowing what each number represents, because like our students can be able to count to 100, but if they don't understand what they're counting and what it means when they're counting, like if they count to 10, they don't understand that is 10 of something. Like you can have 10 dogs, you can have $10, you can have 10 post-it notes, like whatever it might be, like understanding what it means when you are counting. And so just like also in other forms of the game, if you have the addition or subtracting, that's a form of problem solving, and they can incorporate that in other classes as well. So thank you for listening, and hopefully if you are a younger grade teacher, you can find the game like this, or you can create your own. It's very simple, but I just used the application called Interacti, and I think that's how you pronounce it, Interacti. And it was super quick and easy to make, and so you could use it in many different other classes. Like if you would teach older grades, you could definitely use like with multiplication facts and other things like that. You'd be able to print them out as well. You can print out the cards if you want to do that. And so thank you for listening. I've enjoyed taking this class. I've enjoyed learning from everyone else. So hope everyone has a great spring break.